Welcome everybody, it's Amber Kivett here with Lifepro, and it's one of our awesome launch days. We're unloading a new product and I'm very excited about this one. We shared this with our VIP group just yesterday, and the response from them has been overwhelmingly awesome. So for those of you who are joining us, I'm going to give you guys all a few minutes to dial in here. So just so I know that everybody's here that's interested, if you could share with me in the comment section where you're kind of listening from. And I don't know about you, the weather outside is finally clearing up and sunny and nice. It's warm here in Indiana, and it's a good time to be able to try out some new things, get outside, but that means we're also having to manage with youth schedules and with other opportunities. We're trying to manage our time and resources. So this new vibration plate is awesome as far as, you know, the timing of all this coming out. It's the first of its kind that we have come out with Lifepro. So I'm really excited to show you this, share with you all of its amazing features and answer any questions that some of you might have. We're going to do a little bit of some demo work so that you can see how it's beneficial if it's a second or a fourth or a fifth, you know, plate. It packs a punch for what it is. So those of you who are looking for an economical solution for having more than one vibration plate, or if you're just now getting started and not quite sure where you need to, you know, begin, and you don't want to spend a lot of money up front, this is a great opportunity to explore whole body activation with our vibration plates in this new series that we've got coming out, and this being, you know, part of that smaller, lightweight group of vibration plates. So I see some of you are starting to join in, but anyhow, it is so exciting to see you all today. I don't know about you, but it is, you know, 2026, new year, new you. Yesterday was the start of the new Chinese calendar. I don't know how many of you guys dabble in that, but last year was the year of shedding out the old snake, you know, letting, you know, habits of the past go, toxic energy, and allowing the new you to come out, momentum unleashing, you know, just allowing you to become the best version of yourself. And part of that is making sure that you're giving your mind, your body, and your spirit more feeding of good stuff, good energy. You're doing what you can to pamper your body and your mind, and trying to capture the attention of as many of those cells in your body to switch up metabolism for the better, because metabolism is what changes how we feel. It's how we age. It's how we control our immune system. It's how we flush out toxins, but it's also what gives us energy. And it's also what allows us to transfer energy and get this vehicle from one place to another. So how we feed those cells is through vibration. If we're trying to hack in and stimulate new muscles, new joints to feeling better, you know, if you've got joints that have been struggling, whether it's post-op or whether you're just getting older. I mean, we're not getting any younger, right? So those of you that are struggling with osteoarthritis, or you know, you get up from sitting at the desk working all day and you're feeling stiff, and it's like, oh, like you just need a little bit of a pick-me-upper. You hit the wall in the afternoon from that energy stagnation. This is a wonderful solution to that situation, in that this new vibration plate called the Vibrance X only weighs a whopping 60 pounds. So what makes that special is it's super lightweight. I mean, I can do some bicep curls. I can stick it over my head and do tricep extensions. There's all kinds of good things we can do, but that's not why we made it so light. We made it light so that you could travel with it, or you could use it as a second plate without having to haul around the bigger vibration plates that are 25 pounds on up to 50 pounds, or the big one that has the handles on it that just has one motor that's really intense. This is an awesome new model, and I'm really excited. I've been with Lifepro over 7 years now, and so I've had every single vibration plate that we've ever made. This is a first of its kind in that it is super simple to use. There's no Bluetooth, there's no Wi-Fi, there's not a wide spectrum of preset programs, only four preset programs. So it makes it really user-friendly. What else it makes it special is it has a very user-friendly plug. So what I mean by that is a lot of the newer vehicles that are coming out have an outlet in the back seat or in the very back, or, you know, some of the newer vehicles are built with outlets inside that you can plug in a 2-prong outlet cord so that you can, you know, recharge devices, or maybe you can use it for your vibration plate. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to put it in the car and use it in the back seat of the car when you're chilling, but it is a possibility because it only has 2 prongs instead of 3. And a lot of the vehicles are now making that more accessible, so that you can use, you know, the different energy outlets for different needs. So you can actually travel with this one. Because of its size, it is 21 inches across. It is 14.3 inches from top to bottom in width. And then as far as the height goes, it's 5.8 inches. If you look at our advertisement online, we have a small typo there. It says 5.08 as far as top to bottom. Now, I'm sharing this correction with you because I know some of you have bought some of our products in the past, and you actually are looking for the true specs because you might not have 6 inches to slide this underneath of your bed, underneath of a cabinet or a counter, underneath your desk. And so there's a big difference between 5.8 and 5.08. So I'm making sure that you know, if you aim for 6 inches, the height of this is closer to 6 inches than it is to 5. So those of you that are keeping track, 21 inches across, 14 inches deep. So if you wear a size 12 shoe, men's 12 shoe, you'll be fine. You'll be able to fit on here. It'll be tight, but you'll be able to fit on here. And then 6 inches, I'm going to say plus or minus from top to bottom. What you all are also going to notice is it has a slight curve to it. This question came up yesterday, and so I want to make sure and clarify this because some of our other vibration plates, the Rumble X40, the Rumble X Pro, those both have a significant banking on them. This does have a very slight curve, but it's very, very slight, okay? Very slight. So if anything, it is going to accentuate the energy absorption and transfer into your hips, your tummy. So we got these spare tires that we're trying to get rid of, right? These bat wings, these wider hips. The more of a little bit of banking we have here, the more energy we're going to generate to the outer thighs and to the inner thighs. Also, hips and booty. So a little mild curve, very, very small curve, isn't going to hurt you. But for those of you who have total hip replacements, total knee replacements, foot ankle fusion, or you overpronate excessively or have bunions, this is not significant as a curve of what our Rumble X Pro or the Rumble X40, which has a much higher banking. You're not going to run into the same valgus stress problem, meaning you're not going to have that extra energy placed to the outside, which is going to cause you to roll in more excessively. So those of you who are trying to avoid something that's not flat, this is flat enough that you're not going to have a lot of issues with artificial joints or that outside stress causing you to feel pain in your knees, hips, or your ankles. But you will feel the energy of vibration working through those areas. So if you're trying to loosen up your hips, if you're trying to solve restless leg syndrome from sitting at your desk all day, if that being said, if you do sit a lot during the day, and if you have issues with sciatica and you got to keep that body in motion, this is a great it's a great option for having a second or however many plates you want. It's a great option because of how light it is, how small it is, but very practical, very user-friendly. When we go to turn it on, so you're going to see right here, it has a mirror control panel here in the center. And so when I go to push the power button, it automatically turns on to 10 minutes. So it's a default time of 10 minutes is what you're going to see there, okay? And then from here, we have the choice of choosing one of 4 preset programs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes back to what looks like, is going to look like 88 to most of you. That is our manual mode operation, in which you can choose anywhere from 1 to 60 speeds. if you are really wanting to pack a punch and control the nature of your programming. We have our speed up and speed down buttons here at the bottom. And for those of you who are curious, so it only has 10 minutes. Does that mean that I can add 10 minutes, or I can do more than 10 minutes, or I can do less than 10 minutes? Let's just keep it simple. When the 10-minute preset program runs out, just push reset and do it again. Pick another preset program or go manual mode. Like if you're one of those who wants to do 20 or 30 minutes straight through, you're gonna have to push that start button 1, 2, 3, or however many times you want to, because each time you push that start button, it is 10 minutes, and we are not adding any extra time to that because that's just the easiest way to promote safe applications, because more is not always better. But if you're like me, you love that energy and you love that itch and how much you shaky to wakey. So we want to make sure that those of you who are wanting more than 10 minutes, it's really quite simple. You just, when it kicks off from that first 10 minutes, you just restart it, maybe choose a different program the second time, or just change up the speeds. Now, I want to turn this on because I want you to see one of my favorite features about this. We have a LED illumination feature on each end, and on each end, it's going to illuminate based on the speed or the intensity that you're seeing in activation. So the green is going to be considered a low level of speed. So level 1 to 20, okay? 1 to 20 speed is going to be green. So that is our low intensity. Not low impact, but yes, all of them are low impact, low intensity, okay? Medium intensity, we're going to increase that speed until we get to 21, and then 21. If you can tell the difference in the blue from the blue, this also, if I remember right, this might come in black as well. We might have it in 2 colors, but I know that the blue is this is the standard. But you're going to see blue LEDs on the end when we get to a speed of 21 to 40. And then our intense, like high intensity, high frequency is going to be 41 to 60. And that's maxed out right there. So it's not bouncing across my table yet, like some of the other plates do, but it is vibrating enough to shift the mini loop bands off the counter. So now I'm gonna be brave and hold this while it's in motion. So you're gonna see, this is at the highest speed possible, okay? And I'm gonna stand on it so you can see how fast this really is, how effective it really is. So from a flat standpoint, it really is pretty flat. And although it doesn't look like much, just wait until you see what it does to my body. Because I was on this for not 10 minutes, not 20 minutes, not 30 minutes, but I did 50 minutes the other night because I was so excited to experience all the different preset programs and how they feel, but I couldn't get enough. And as soon as I started itching, which was like in the first 5 minutes, I was like, okay, let's bring on the detox. I didn't use it for a workout. So that's a really important thing. Let's talk weight capacity. It has a weight capacity of 264 pounds. So if you are somebody who is on the edge of 265, or you're 260 pounds, and then let's throw on some clothes. Here's what I want you to remember. It is an awesome alternative if you are wanting to work on cramping in these legs, if you've got plantar fasciitis, if you've got leg pain, if you're wanting to really focus in and you're not using this for your everyday total body workout, okay? It is an awesome option no matter what weight you are. But if you're in a seated position, let's say you're over 275 pounds, if you are in a seated position, you're not going to generate that amount of weight capacity on top of it if you are unloading half of your body weight. So for those of you who are wanting very simple, very cost effective, it runs around $149.99. So it's one of our lower budgeted products. If you're one of those individuals that needs an extra plate that's super easy to carry along, put in the back seat of the car. Heck, if you wanted to stick it in a suitcase and carry it on a plane, it doesn't have that battery internal. It actually has to be plugged in, so there's no rechargeable battery. So you can actually carry it on a plane if you wanted to, because it's small enough. You can technically stick it in like a hack backpack, like a hack sack that you carry, or rucksack that you carry on your back. So if you are one who is really wanting to specialize in not spot loss, weight management, but truly trying to work, like if you're at work and you just don't have a chance to get up and move much from your desk, and you have that deep pain in the butt, and you got low back pain, and your shoulders are around it, and you're like this, like a T-Rex all day, this is an awesome option. I'm going to show you how to use it for that purpose here in just a few minutes. When it comes to our awesome remote, I kind of shared a hack yesterday on what you can use the remote with, but it pops out of this little bracelet, okay? And it already has the battery enclosed. So when you get your Vibrance X, you're gonna open yeah, we'll just do this because I didn't do this yesterday. And I'm one of those people, I don't have fingernails because I work on people all day, but we're just gonna pull this little safety barrier here, which then activates the battery that's already inclusive. So you don't have to worry about getting yourself an extra battery. It already comes included. We want to make sure that you can jump the gun and get it going quick, okay? So here's what I'm going to suggest. If you're one of those people that has lots of stuff laying around, lots of remotes, this is a little thing to try and keep track of. Get yourself a piece of Velcro and stick it right here on just a little bitty piece of Velcro. Stick it on that little cover on the back. And then you can stick another piece of Velcro on the front of your vibration plate and it will stick. And then you always know where it's at. However, when you're using it, make sure you take it off so you can use it, because we don't want to use it on the plate. If you're Velcroing it to the plate, don't do that because we don't want it to go vibrating across the room. But when you're done with, activating the battery, you can put it back in its little casing, and then it works like a bracelet. So you can wear it while you're doing your workout, and you can control the whole vibration plate right here, the Vibrance X. So I'm gonna power on. We just powered on, and we can go manual mode, and we can increase in speed. And there we go. So I did all that from the remote, okay? We do not have any special discount codes going on. You had to be in the VIP group yesterday in order to get that code. It is only available for those who were in the group. So if you're not part of the group and if you didn't get the code, we don't have an extra code for today. But if you don't have, you might check your email. A lot of times Joel will send out special emails with an extra code if you are already one of our customers. If you're not one of our customers, and if you are really needing that extra discount and you can't find a code, then if you want to, direct message me through social media, if I'm able to capture it in time, I'm happy to help there. But we don't have a specific code for today because it's already reduced price for our launch. So $149.99 is our launch price for today, which you'll find when you go onto our main website, our lifepro.com website. You're going to find new arrivals. We're going to click on that link and it's going to show up right on the main page. There's already a link in your comment section so you can go right to it. And you're already going to see that it's been marked down for launch day. But those who were in the VIP group yesterday, we were, whether you missed me live yesterday or you were able to tap into, the experience later after it was recorded, it's still available there. So if you happen to have access to our VIP group, then go on over there and grab that code because it's only good for today, but you have to get it from the VIP group. We're really rewarding those who are part of that special group, that special community. So if you are not already part of our VIP Facebook group for Lifepro, make sure and go to search in your little comment section. You'll find, we'll make sure and provide a share link to where you can just click on there in order to answer some questions to be requested into the group. Make sure that you answer every question, because if you don't answer every question, they won't let you in because they're trying to keep the trolls and the bots out. So make sure that you answer all the questions. And when you are able to locate that, there are a couple of knockoff groups that are out there. So truly, when you find Lifepro, you're going to see our logo. You're going to see VIP group. There is a Lifepro vibration plate group that's out there that we do not have ownership on that group. It is not our group. It is a knockoff group trying to pretend to be Lifepro. And so just want to make sure that you watching from our live page, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on Facebook, that you are aware of the other group that is not controlled by us. So we cannot control what other competitors are trash talking, or like I said, there can be some trolls, some not so positive people over there, but nonetheless, it's out there. So no, you definitely can't hear the motors. Very, very quiet. So I'm seeing some comments coming in. It is super quiet, whisper quiet. And again, like right now, it's the countdown is at 6:42, so we're about 4 minutes in, and this is a speed of 1. So for those of you who just need a little bit of relief, yeah, this is a speed of 1. Can you imagine what my arms and my upper body is going to do on a speed of 60? Hello. Anyhow, it is low impact, high frequency intensity for those of you that want it, low frequency, level 1 for those of you that are just getting started and scared to death to try. It only has 1 motor. So, and as you are seeing, it is our oscillation teeter-totter mode is what I like to call it. It's like a friendly teeter-totter, just wiggle, 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 kind of like a bobblehead. I love the oscillation motors. This is my second favorite plate now that we've got out because it is so simple, okay? So simple. If you don't have one of our plates though, and you're wanting to do some of our workouts with Debbie, Roseanne, or myself, total body workouts, you're wanting to add weight, you're wanting to add a vest, you're wanting to go really big with your workouts, you're wanting to get some twisting and some rotation, this is not the plate for that, okay? This is not one of those types of plates that you want as a beginner plate for workouts. However, it is an awesome beginner plate for pain management and for lymphatic response and for like just regulating nervous system, enhancing that vagal nerve response, bringing the depression, anxiety down, waking things up in the morning when you want to wake up. When you hit the wall in the later part of the afternoon, you're going to be able to experience the greatness of how powerful this one motor that oscillates is going to give you between the 60 different levels of speed and intensity. But it is not ideal for a workout only because it's only 16 pounds. And so if you can imagine being on one of our Rumble X models or being on a turbo or being on one of our heavier models like the Rumble X Max, which weighs almost 50 pounds, has a weight capacity of 500 pounds. The amount of vibration that is happening with just this one motor, when you spread that over a bigger plate with more weight, you're going to see less response of vibration to the whole body because you're taking up more space. And so that same amount of vibration spread out over an entire size of the plate that's twice this size is going to react to you a little different, which is a good thing if you're getting started or if you're wanting to do total body workouts. But if you're just getting started, you're just tiptoeing into the whole body vibration activation world that we've been at truly the forefront of for the last 7 years. We're one of the first to come out with a residential use vibration plate. This is awesome. I'm really excited to be able to have this one to carry from office to office. I do a lot of presenting on stages for audiences to be able to take it and just carry it on the stage to do a demo in front of a bunch of people or for teams. If you have kids that are in club sports and they are, let's say you're going to the softball or baseball park on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you got 8 games in 3 days, this is one of the greatest things you can do for them. Buy the plate, keep it in your vehicle, use it in your vehicle or, using it off the tailgate, or plug it in wherever you got access to plugging it in because it's only 2 prongs, so you don't need anything fancy. But being able to just stand on it for 10 minutes and flushing out the lactic acid byproduct and the toxins that are released during high level human performance in sports, and you're doing that over and over and over and over again, at some point the body increases inflammatory hormones and we lose the energy from the glucose, the glycogen in the muscles. It regenerates and recovers and restores that much faster if you're using it in between events. So it's an awesome opportunity for being able to use in athletics. If you're a pickleballer and you're playing pickleball with your senior buddies, or I like to call them the masters athletes, when you are available in between matches and you feel like your joints are just a little stiff because you've been sitting waiting for that team in front of you to get off the court so you can jump on the court. you can use this off to the sidelines. It is super small, very easy, lightweight, and easy to push out of the way. I've got some professional musicians that I work for. So when they go to concerts, and if I'm working backstage, I will take one about this size. I usually take the Waver Mini, which weighs another 10 pounds heavier, and it doesn't pack nearly the punch that this one does when it comes to the amount of energy it offers, in my opinion. And so if you've got somebody who, travels a lot for work, or, again, you've got a long-winded day that you need to, just shake out and just like unplug, de-stress, so you can like turn that light back on and flip the switch. It's a great intervention for getting you through your day and helping to allow your nervous system to regulate a little more efficiently. If you are somebody who is just getting started with muscle activation, you've had a surgery, whether it's a knee surgery, a total hysterectomy. That's how I got involved with Lifepro 7 years ago, was post-hysterectomy and just miserable. I like to say that Lifepro changed my life. It saved my life because I'd already been to see the surgeon, the doctor, the physical therapist, another holistic private therapist, chiropractor. And they all told me, like, you're just too far ahead of recovery. You just got to give yourself time. But it was a year out, and I was really in pain all the time because certain parts of me would not work again. It's like when your nervous system goes into overdrive mode, it shuts certain things off that will not work, even if you know how to use them. So getting on this machine was very similar to having a dead car battery, and you have to put jumper cables on that dead car battery and push the launch button. It's the launch pad. That's what this machine did for me several years ago, just getting on it for 10 minutes and just standing on it. 10 minutes every day for 2 weeks, and I was completely pain-free after everybody told me I was nuts. So I owe Lifepro my world because they truly gave me my life back after I really thought I was at the end of my rope. Anyhow, a lot of different things you can do with this. Now, the owner's manual states that you should only do this, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max a day. Again, I've been on here for several hours in days times. Every human is different. Everybody's cellular makeup is different. Everybody's stress level is different. Our emotional energy is different. So you do what works best for you. But if you're just getting started, let's start easy. Let's just try 10 minutes and just see what happens. Because I did that 10 minutes the first time, and I felt like I got hit by a train the next day, and I didn't think it had done anything the day I got on it. I have a history of fibromyalgia, and so it stirred up a storm, the perfect storm I like to call it. It shook things up because my body was so stuck, stagnant, glued, nasty, and just did not feel good, no flow. So it shook things up in order to jumpstart things and allowed me the opportunity to slowly integrate back into a daily routine in which over the pandemic, I lost 50 pounds in weight loss just using the Lifepro vibration plates on social media, and didn't even know I was losing the weight because I wasn't paying attention. You always look bigger in the camera, trust me. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to turn this on and continue to talk to you. But again, 10 minutes default timing, 60 levels of speed. I know some of you are wondering, what's the amplitude? What's the frequency? All I'm going to tell you is it's got an oscillation motor, which is what we need in order to help out with muscle activation, bone tissue stimulation, and how our body really regulates the nervous system and the vagus nerve. If you've read a lot of clinical studies that have been conducted on osteoporosis treatment or different desirable outcomes, it is really next to impossible to control a human study, especially with vibration. And majority of those clinical studies have been done with medical grade or commercial grade plates that are majority of either pulsation or linear vibration, as well as maybe dabbling in a little bit of oscillation. But here's what I want you to learn from me today, because I have been studying this with the top scientists all over the world. I was with the top 1% in the world, with 60 countries featured at the International Fascia Research Congress, and understanding how this body of ours regenerates, repairs, and restores itself. And what I can tell you is it does not matter what the frequency or the amplitude is. You just got to get on and go for the ride. Because what this is doing, it is creating lots of mini contractions involuntarily, which means your brain is not sending the electrical signal for your muscles to actually make activity, not to take action. It's happening as a response to an action, which is Newton's laws of motion. So if the vibration plate with oscillation is teeter-tottering and you're on it, your body is going to teeter-totter back with the same amount of energy that it's giving you. So don't worry about the frequency, because if your body is in motion and you don't have to create the motion, you don't have to consciously try to do the exercise, it's just happening. Isn't that the magic bottle or magic pill that everybody wants, but it's a magic machine? It's so awesome. But again, when we cause those muscles to twitch and to contract the way that they do, that's how we increase lean muscle mass and muscle strength. That's how we gain strength. That's how we decrease fat mass and increase lean muscle mass, which increases metabolism, which changes mental health, which changes how we are with autoimmune control and taking medications. There's so many awesome benefits. They're going to say that the vibration does not directly change the bone itself, because bone is not considered a contractile connective tissue, but because muscle and tendons attach to the bone and those are vibrating, it causes a reaction where they're in contact with the bone, that the bone generates more bone tissue. And our fascia is made up of collagen, buzzword of the day, collagen, 23 different types of collagen, by the way. Collagen, elastin, so our skin does not have as much elasticity to it as we get older or as we dehydrate, and hyaluronin, which is a jelly-like fluid that allows our body to be almost like in an ocean of itself. And it transfers those electrical signals and our energy so that our body can move the way it's supposed to. So remember, movement is medicine, motion is lotion. And we know that vibration is an excitatory stimulus to not only fascia, but also to any contractile tissue, including your muscles. So if you're one of those individuals who does not want to go to the gym and do a workout because you're scared to death of the gym, or you don't want to go get your heart rate up, or you don't want to go to the therapy clinic and go through a lymphatic massage, this does it all. It's really pretty awesome how it works. So that being said, I wore shorts today for all of you so that I could demonstrate how powerful and robust this actually is. And again, with all of our vibration plates, you're getting that lifetime warranty. We're sending you the mini loop band. So if you want to make it part of a workout that's modified, that's not total body, high impact, we have the resources provided for you. You get the remote. And then of course we have our little carry bag so you can keep all of your accessories out of the way so you don't trip over them, depending on how much you have at home. What I want you to pay really close attention is keep track of your before and after stories, because if you're part of our Lifepro VIP club, you're going to get to be part of a community of almost 100,000 people who are sharing their story about how Lifepro devices of all sorts, whether it's red light therapy, infrared light therapy, or our vibration plates, whether it's our adjustable dumbbells, our saunas, our sauna blankets, you're going to get updates on not only if we are evolving or innovating more products, if we've got recalls, if you are struggling with trying to figure out how to use the buttons. Like, we are all there with a family of people within the community all over the world that are sharing their stories about how Lifepro is changing their life, like what settings they might be using. Because Roseanne and Debbie and I can't cover the whole spectrum of all the possibilities, which are infinite, by the way, of what can happen with the Lifepro products. But listening to true stories from all of you, real people, not robots or trolls, but real people, about how you feel, not only how you look, but is your skin glowing? Are you feeling younger? Are you more balanced? Do you have more coordination? Do you have more mobility where you can move instead of walking around like a zombie? There's so many great benefits between so many of our products, and being part of that VIP community gives you the opportunity to feel human with so many other people. Because if you're at home alone and you're just watching Amber on YouTube in order to figure out how to use your product and it scares the crap out of you, well, then you can go and join the community And they're sharing how scared they were when they started and how much they're changing just one session at a time. So keep track of your before and after, because in your product packaging, you're going to have this Amazon gift card opportunity in which you're going to scan the QR code. You're going to provide a photo or a video or testimonial of how Lifepro is changing your life. And then we're going to give you a credit in Amazon dollars to use to whatever you want, so that we can celebrate you giving us your time, because we all understand how important your time is, just how important my time is. You see, we all have 24 hours a day, and how you use those 24 hours a day is how you finish and exceeding for those opportunities with goals. Don't forget to keep track of your manual. If you happen to lose that, it's okay. We'll email you another one if we absolutely have to. And then last but not least, because it's a new year, it's a new you, it's a new Lifepro. We have been going through and switching up some of our systems. And so if you have trouble with your product, if you have trouble with customer service, if you have not received everything in your packaging for whatever reason that can happen, it has happened, please give us a chance to make it right. And if you cannot get a hold of customer service, even though you've already tried via email, phone number, or direct messaging, don't hesitate to reach out to me personally, because as we've been shifting over to our extraordinary world-class customer service team, we want to make sure that you feel like we are actually still there somehow. And there's nothing worse than getting stuck with a teleprompter or a robot that is not actually listening to you. They're just listening for cues and AI operating. AI is not going to replace Amber. So it is, I truly am giving you my word. If you have any trouble whatsoever, don't hesitate to text me after you've tried all other options. I'm not going to answer the phone, but I will make sure and get it on up the channel so long as you have already tried on your end. So that number is 317-446-7971. But again, contact customer service first and then give me a ring if you have trouble. Make sure that you activate that lifetime warranty within the first 2 weeks when you get it. It makes our life so much easier at Lifepro, because we have millions of customers, not just here in the United States, not just in Canada, not just in Mexico. I have a gentleman in the Philippines who has a Rumble X Plus. Like, we've got people all over the world that are depending on us. So make sure and give us a chance, but like, get that warranty going so that if you do have trouble, it's already in the system. We don't have to look up serial numbers and all that stuff. Okay, now, because you're so excited to see how this real works, how it really works, I'm going to bring you down to my level so that you can experience how I feel with mine. And I'll show you how you can use it for your liking for your desk at home. But I also want to show you what it's like standing and sitting. And I'm going to make some changes here to height. So while I am setting up my structure, going for a little ride, do ask any questions that you might have so that I can be aware and in tune with your needs, because that's why I'm here. And in the meantime, you're going to get to experience how rockin' awesome this new vibration plate is and how powerful it really is. And I wore shorts for all of you today so you could actually see all of this in motion, because it is a powerful, mighty little thing. It's just so cool how conveniently small it is, but how much of a punch it really packs. And actually, I'm going to bring you all the way down to the floor. I was going to try and keep you guys a little level, so bear with me as I find the ideal spot. There we go. So you're going to get to see a very up close version of me. But these are always fun. You're not going to get to see all my head, but you're going to get to see a lot of what I'm able to do. So forgive the rearranging the stage set here. But here we go. We're just going to turn it on. It automatically starts at 10 minutes. And here we go. So I'm actually going to bring you a little bit closer so you can really see how much these tissues are really working. I took some videos at home the other day before this thing was launched so that I could really show you all how well it works. You can see it in motion, and I'm going to bring you up. I'm in my medical clinic right now, so I'm moving furniture around so you can get a good view up close of how much intensity this thing really offers. Now, you're going to miss part of my head in order to see the rest of me. But you can see, and I've already been on one today, but you can see how much this is really shaking things up. And this is just on a preset program, and it's on a moderate level. So it's on speed of 25 right now, which is a medium intensity. That's why you're seeing blue. Now we're on low. It changes every 30 seconds to a different speed. So for those of you who do not enjoy using your mind to craft a program that is going to benefit you, we've already got that work taken care of for you. You just push the button and go. And I'm trying to see what the comment is. Okay, Amber's phone number, 317-446-7971. So yes, okay, speed just went up to 35. So we went from 15 to 35. Remember, we got 60 levels. You're gonna see red, blue, or green on the ends because it's an LED illumination of how fast it's actually going. So if you don't care about speed and you just wanna stay in a certain color, you can operate it based on color because that's how awesome it is. But again, one motor, mighty, packs a punch, only 16 pounds. And I personally wear a 9.5 shoe. I'm 5'4", about 138 pounds. So from size proportion, when I started with Lifepro, I was over 200 pounds. And you're all thinking like, how is that possible? Well, if you don't get the junk in the trunk in motion, you can't use it. So you gotta get the stuff moving. And vibration moves the junk in the trunk, to say the least. So this is from a side angle in which you get to see the illumination, okay? And I'm gonna share with you so that you believe that I'm serious when I tell you that Lifepro has made all the difference in my life. This was what I looked like, and I've been a strength coach over 25 years, and I've been in sports medicine over 25 years. This is what I looked like at the World Fitness Show after having a hysterectomy, and I got an inspirational Medal of Honor because of helping out with those who are in back pain, and I was over 200 pounds here. And I had not started doing things with Lifepro yet. So that's, this is when the pandemic hit. I was 170 pounds, and that's when I started doing the online programs. And every program that I did to go from here to here, every single program was on social media, and everybody witnessed it all happening. So nothing extra. I didn't do any dieting. Honestly, with the pandemic, everybody's trying to survive. So I went from over 200 pounds to 160 pounds in this picture, being their new spokesmodel. That was in 2020. And now I'm down to 138-ish pounds. And I've never been a size 6 in my life until this last year. But all I do, I don't work out much. I just do Lifepro stuff. And because I'm a strength coach and I work with a lot of athletes, work with a lot of kids, you know, it's doing some great things. Now, for those of you who are like, okay, I've got disability. Well, guess what? In 2005, I was in a bad motor vehicle accident, and it took me 2 years to learn how to live functionally and to recover walking normal again. I had to learn how to walk on an underwater treadmill. That was the first time I walked up and down a flight of stairs without a narcotic pain pill. I was taking 23 pills a day because that's what the doctors asked me to do. And this was only like a year and a half after I got married. So I was 9 months married when I got into an accident, 8 spinal injuries, head trauma, fibromyalgia, life sucks, no short-term memory, right in the heart of the narcotic surge where everybody gets paid to dish out pills. So that was Amber walking up and down a flight of stairs for the very first time at the Biltmore Estate because I refused to take the handicap tour. So I went from that to being how I am now. So I have ballooned up and down many, many times because of life. And so I understand how frustrating it is to try and lose no matter what you try. And what I had to learn is I was exercising too much. You can actually exercise too much. So there's a squat in which you can hold a squat. Now, on the Rumble X, I like to get all the way down there, okay? And this is really hard to do that because it's only 16 pounds, and you put my body weight, add gravity to it, and it's really easy to get it to tip. So be careful trying to get all the way into some of these deep positions. But I don't know how close you can see my legs. I'm gonna bring you a little closer so you can really see my legs. boy, I'm giving myself out today. And you're gonna see we are shaking up the fluff. I don't like to say fat because we need fat in order to survive. We actually need fat to thrive. We just sometimes can have too much of it. And when it gets stuck in our tissues and creates issues, that's what causes disease. Remember, tissues that are not at ease cause disease. So where there's tissues and issues, there's disease. This is really shaking things up a lot, okay? For those of you who have plantar fasciitis, you got restless leg syndrome, you can't rest at night because you're sitting all day. You can sit in your office chair just like this. Do you see what this is doing to my hips, girls? Like, well, gentlemen too. If you got sciatica, this is like crazy rapid fire awesome. Like my booty is getting one heck of a workout without doing the leg strengthening machine at the gym where I'm like, right? But because we have the mini loop bands, we can actually put the mini loop bands on around the ankles and we can do the same exercises that we would do at the gym by just sitting, doing nothing. It's like the best hack ever and it works. Now, I do want to point out to you, your calf muscle, it is your second heart. So it is meant to pump, those muscles are meant to pump up the leg, pump junk up the leg into our lymph nodes here in our thigh. And we have a huge portal of lymph nodes behind our knee that can get blocked and nasty. And if that happens, you're not getting peripheral edema out of your leg. So all you gotta do is just sit and relax and enjoy the ride. That's what I love about this thing. It's truly like a magic machine. It just does it for you, okay? So let me show you facing you in my lovely office chair. Again, you're getting, I was recording the other night and somebody said, boy, Amber, you really can't keep those knees together, can you? Absolutely not, because I don't want to. I want to open all this up. I want to get the motion. Movement is medicine, motion is lotion. When we get things in motion, working like a pump, we are pushing fluid into our joint spaces. And for those of you who have really been struggling this winter because of all of the weather changes, the crazy blizzard storm that we just went through this last month, if you are one of those individuals, so you can see where I'm stuck right here in the front. So I'll show you how we're gonna fix that. But if you're one of those people who your body just hurts in the winter months, it's because those joints are not getting lubricated with the hyaluronan, with the viscosity of what we would normally have, like Jello. It turns to like sticky honey peanut butter or glue, or just dehydrates altogether. And it's just like a cold engine in the middle of a blizzard. It is not going to turn over and lubricate those parts with the oil the same way. So you got to lubricate the parts, and the vibration does that. So awesome. Okay, now let me give you another test here in which you get to see me on the floor. Somebody was asking me yesterday on a video, because I recorded some really cool videos on this the other day. Actually, I'm going to bring it to my level. You're really going to get to see some good stuff. Somebody was asking, why wouldn't you just stand on it? And I'm like, well, you can stand on it, but if you're really wanting to dial in on some areas that are really sore, you can do that. So this is a level of 10. Remember, if you see green means that it is low level, okay? If it's blue, it's moderate level, and if it's red, it is really high frequency. But I'm just sitting here chilling, like best thing ever, best way to end your day. That was a preset program. I'm gonna go with a different preset program here. And again, if you have any questions popping up to mind, again, I'm just sitting here relaxing, just letting the machine do the work for me. It's awesome. It's a great process. But everybody was asking me with the videos that I had posted, why would you get on it like that? Well, if you have a lot of lymph issues, if you've got lymphedema, if you've got peripheral edema, if you have lines in your ankles or in your legs from where your clothes have been, you have peripheral edema, you have inflammation. And because of how gravity works with us, gravity pushes everything away from your center, and we have to find a way to get it back up to our center. But for those of you who don't like to exercise, don't like to walk, you don't like to get up off the couch, you don't have time to pull off into a rest park and stretch because you're driving all the time, you got to have some way of being able to change the fluid concentration in your lower limbs, or it becomes very stagnant. And those of you who have plantar fasciitis, I would be excited to hear, can you spread those piggly wigglies apart? And do you have the ability to curl your toes without moving your feet? And how glued are your calves? Because plantar fasciitis is not a foot problem, it is a calf problem. It's like taking a spool of yarn that you use for crocheting and knitting, and you pull it all out, and then you just throw it on the floor and you pack it all in there. When that happens, there's lots of tangles. And when there's lots of tangles, there's lots of sticky instead of fluid and nice and springy. And if you have tangles and stagnation, that's what causes that restless leg, almost feels like little bugs, or you just cannot quit tossing and turning, you can't relax. It's because that tissue is all clumped up and you get stagnant fluid down there. So this is the solution to pushing it back up towards your torso. And once you change out that fluid and you change the structure of the fascia to more springy through dynamics or through vibration, then restless leg goes away, plantar fasciitis goes away, you get to be more mobile, and then you can work on the next area of your body that hurts, which is for most people the knees or the hips. So it's good stuff. Can we show you some arm work? Absolutely. It is really quite simple. With arms, you just get into, so if you got a carpal tunnel issue, carpal tunnel syndrome is usually more congested connective tissue that's scarred up top, and it compresses on things so the muscles are not shortening like they're supposed to. But true carpal tunnel, the muscles that work, the tendons that you type, that you mouse, that you use on your radio, that you drive with, that you use on power tools, those muscles actually originate up in here, not at the wrist. So carpal tunnel is not a wrist issue. It is sticky stagnation and weakness in the forearms, or in the shoulder not working the way it's supposed to, because the energy transfers through the shoulder. And if you're not able to transfer that energy through the shoulder, then the arms have to work a lot harder, which means they're going to become more swollen and inflamed. And there's a lot of stuff anatomically that moves through the wrist, and only so much can fit through there when you're inflamed. So let me grab, I'm going to bring you guys up one little notch so you can see a little bit different angle. Again, this is always fun to try and get different angles. If you have your mini loop bands, if you use a green band, which is our light, okay, and this comes with, if you use this, I'm going to show you how to use this, but be careful. I didn't warn you, right? This is going to be much more challenging than what you realize. So have fun getting used to this, but don't go more is not better. You got to learn how to create endurance here first, and then everything else comes along. So all I want you to do is put that around your wrist and create. So this is loosey-goosey. This is just a little bit of tension. Put those hands down on there. And if this is bothersome to you, get yourself another mat. So let me show you that. I'm going to put me a mat down. And I just cut that from a yoga mat, made it sizable. This one does not come with that extra mat that our bigger plates come with. And you can see, just creating tension on here, I am going to feel a burn all the way up into my shoulders because of how it's moving everything in my arms. If you can do this okay, then all I want you to do is just turn your right hand to 2 o'clock and your left hand to 10 o'clock and create that extra resistance by just moving your hands apart. And if that's too much energy on you, then sit back a little bit and less intensity, because the more that your body is over the top, the more you're going to feel it in your neck and in your shoulders. Now, I am bent over a table working on humans and their tissues from toes to nose every single day. And some of those days it's a 10-hour day nonstop. So when I'm totally done for the day, this is an awesome position to where I can just relax and just let it all hang out. And I don't necessarily go for tension, but if you put a resistance band around your wrist, you're changing the energy from being lost to being a closed circuit where it travels through the band to the other side. So actually using a resistance band, not with the intention of doing a workout, but with the intention of just keeping the energy in the body. When you do that, you can see in my tricep and my upper arm, I'll bring this closer so that you can see anything for bat wings, flabby arms. This is it. This is what I'm showing you. Flabby arms and bat wings. This is the money right here. And that's coming from the #1 fit pro in the country for 2023. I got that award in 2023, if I remember right. Lots of service going into that. But you can see how it's getting my movement in my shoulder. And if I go to turn my hands to the outside, it's going to give even more motion to my shoulders. If I go into a kneeled position, you're going to see even more energy. So there's a lot that you can do for arm strengthening. My arms are itching profusely right now. So from here, I can go from just creating a little bit of separation on that band to tapping to the outside. And when I do this right here, that energy goes way up. So this is on a preset program. Right now we are on green, which is low, okay? If you're doing upper body and you're doing really focused really focused upper body, stay in manual mode because it is a lot of intensity when you get up to those higher levels. So I'm gonna go through P1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're gonna see what looks like 2 8s, okay? And then I'm going to start, and I'm on a speed of 1, just 1 right here. For those of you who are just getting started with shoulder or for back or for neck, and you just got like that tension headache that just will not go away, this is how you do it, okay? So I'm gonna put this there to give myself a little of a different surface. What I do love about this plate is the surface that is on top is not as textured as some of our other vibration plates. It does not have the discs. It does not change in direction. It is a very seamless, soft, one-piece, non-slip rubber mat that's inlaid into the top. If you are wanting something softer, then cut yourself a yoga mat to fit for size and do it that way. Because if you end up in wanting to sit on this for sciatica or for quads, I'll show you how my quads are going to go bananas here shortly. But again, this is level 1, just level 1 right here. And if I just wrap my hands over the edge, there's a lot happening here because oscillation is like a teeter-totter. There's a certain amount of amplitude. Amplitude is the height in which the plate changes top to bottom. And I don't have those numbers because guess what? You shouldn't be worried about that. It works. That's all you need to think about. If you're wanting to work more triceps, you can just sit on it. And if you can see, my booty is still getting the workout, but like if you have somebody that just walks up to you and just runs their hand through your hair, or they're rubbing your neck or shoulders or your back and you're like, oh, that feels so good. This is it, okay? And if you can see, like my feet are not in contact with the plate and my feet are still in motion. It works that well, right? So you get to experience everything is working by just barely being in contact. But man, the upper body, it is really packing a punch. And I'm just holding on. Now I'm lifting. Now this is like a totally different animal. Speed of 1. Can you imagine 60, right? And then we can go hands behind. I can lean back a little bit. And that's going to change even more in the shoulder. So if you have a frozen shoulder issue, again, I work in sports medicine, have for over 25 years. I work with people who are in pain, try and save them from surgery. And when you're up at this level, like you can break stuff down without having to make contact with the individual. And so I teach people how to use these in their sessions so that when they go home, they can do it every day because I only have control over them in the hour or 2 hours that they're with me. And again, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting on the magic machine and you can see it's shaking up the junk in the trunk, right? All right, so for giving you an extra view here, I wanna make sure that headquarters is not contacting me to making sure that I'm covering all my grounds because we like to make sure everything is covered. Okay, so here we are, level of 1. Remember, level 1, oh, wait, let me wait for it. I'm gonna get that remote for you so you can see how awesome this is. Now, you don't have to leave the mat up here. If you don't want these little striations of the rubber surface. It's a very light textured surface, nothing major. But if you're one of those who cosmetically does not want those on you for like an hour after you've been on here, well, then let's just put another mat on there. Quite easy, okay? And for those of you who have plantar fasciitis, restless leg syndrome, you've come out of a knee injury or knee surgery and you're needing post-surgery recovery, I use this with my sports medicine clients post-surgery because we have to get range of motion back. And if there's inflammation fluid inside the joint, then we can't get movement. So if we can push that fluid out of the joint, which by the way, those lymph node ports are right behind the knee. If we can use these muscles as a micro pump to push all this back, then guess what? I can work on my knee flexion or knee extension at the same time. So lots of cool things there, but we are gonna go into the remote. Boom, so awesome. And we are going to increase speed. And I'm gonna take this up to a different color. I don't even know what level I'm on. I'm just looking for the color. The color is where it's at. That's how you know what you're getting. But this is medium speed, which means it is 21 to 40. And you're gonna see, wowzers. There's a lot happening here. And all I'm doing is just sitting and chilling. So what else can you do? Well, let me show you. You can lay back and just relax. You can just totally chill. So if I wanted to lay back and just relax, that's what it's doing to my hamstrings. That's what it's doing to my booty. That's what it's doing to my quads. I can feel a lot going on in my feet. It is like great sensation relief. Good stuff. And all I'm doing, you can actually move. So we're changing how those muscles are pumping the gunk back up into those lymph nodes, which are right here, okay? And again, if you want to make this a little harder, put the loop band around your ankles and out, in. Just out, in. Again, I have not been to the fitness center, which I just joined last month. I've not been to the gym in over a month because my life has gotten busy with my 15-year-old daughter, and it is the season in which everybody is in pain because of cold weather. So I am working some 10, 12-hour days like crazy nonstop, and I don't take breaks, but I do get on vibration in between when I have to in order to like flush out and like reset my nervous system. So when it comes to getting these muscles to get stronger or to be more defined, if you are a body sculptor, if you're a bodybuilder, if you're trying to change the shape of getting rid of some of the wrinkles or getting rid of some of the cellulite that we call fascial adhesions, not really cellulite, you can do a lot of different exercises without any effort whatsoever. We can put the mini loop bands. This is our medium. Remember, less is better, so don't push hard yet. But if we put our mini loop band around our foot, I'm not even putting it around my ankle, just out. I'm actually raising my leg. You can see the muscles firing. I am not having any extra assistance in doing this. I'm just pushing down on the floor, but just taking my leg to the side. Guess where that's working? It's working all the way up here. So if you're trying to get rid of those saddlebags, those spare hips that you're really not happy about, this is a great way. If you've been told that you've got sciatica because you don't have strong enough booty muscles, your gluteal stabilizers, guess what? If you've been taught clamshells in physical therapy, this does the exact same thing, but it does it better. And I do all of those types of exercises with my clients. I don't like to refer to them as patients because you have to have something wrong with you to see a therapist. And I love being a coach because I just love helping people. I don't want you to have something wrong. But if you do, I'm here to help. I love people to not have to worry about waiting until they're hurt to have to ask for help. So, but if we work out, in, out, you can see those muscles are firing. I don't wear shorts very often for these things, but because this one is so awesome and so powerful, I wanted you all to see how much it changes and actively fires this body, going from large and in charge to lean and tight. Get it tight, get it right. Now, that being said, there's times in our life that we go through the roller coaster ride of not feeling good about ourselves and not having the body that we want. Stress is what causes that. Doing too much exercise, too much cardio especially, our stinking thinking is the root cause of why our body holds on to fat. So in order to let the body release the fat, it has to calm the nervous system down and do its repair work. Because if we are go, 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 and we are pushing hard, it is no longer calories in versus calories out. It's all about controlling emotion, controlling stress, being in control over your nervous system, exciting the vagus nerve and giving it a little extra energy, which is what we're doing right here, and just staying in the moment. I lost all my weight without trying because I was focused on helping all of you and didn't realize that I was melting away on camera, because nobody likes to look at themselves on camera, by the way. We always look 20 pounds heavier on the camera than what we are in person, but I don't care anymore. I don't look at the scale anymore. I don't care what size clothes I wear, because I'm almost 50 and I'm totally loving this body for the first time in my life. First time in my life, I love my body, and it's because Lifepro gave me the chance. But if you are working too hard to trying to get to the end goal, you have to make sure that you are balancing out everything else, because you can do all the work, you can put in all the time, but if you're not controlling everything else, you have no chance. Your body, I don't care if you're on a GLP-1, if you're on injections for weight loss, you've got to get one of these, because the worst thing that happens with the GLP-1 medications and injections, whether you're microdosing or you're taking it orally, one of the first things that happens is it shrinks muscle size, because it depletes the energy. If you're not eating enough, the muscle will shrink and become catatonic, and the body feasts off the muscle, and you actually stay full of the fluff. So if you're not getting enough protein in, and if you are not maintaining lean muscle mass, it doesn't matter if you're using an injectable weight loss drug, because your body is going to give up the wrong kind of weight on the scale. And so we want to make sure that we're maintaining or developing lean muscle mass, and the vibration plate is the magic machine that does that without you having to lift anything. So it is awesome. Okay, now I did show an exercise yesterday on social media, and it was really cool how it worked. I totally made it up on the spot, because that's what I love to do. I love making stuff up as we go, and that's that's how it is. So what I did was I ended up laying in front of the machine, and you can lay in front of the machine so long as the cord's out of the way, or rocket science, just flip the machine around. But I'm going to lay myself out there for all of you to see. But what I'm excited for you to see is what's happening in my legs and in my booty laying face down, because it was an aha moment yesterday. And sometimes that's how I figure this stuff out, is just aha moments in which it just kind of happens. And I've got pillows here to keep myself somewhat level so that I'm not hyperextending my spine, because you got to be careful not to get into much spinal extension, especially if you sit a lot. That will cause more problems if you're not careful. So I'm just going to choose P2 just for fun. I've not created programming with the workouts yet, but we're getting there. You need to make sure and put something. I used a dish towel the other day when I was playing around with this, but I used a dish towel, and yeah, just laying here, you can see how things are moving. I'm going to bring, this is always fun, because I don't have an assistant today, but you can see how my calves are super active. And if you have plantar fasciitis, oh, I can so feel this in the front of my shins. If you have shin splints, this is aha moment, light bulb moment. You saw it here first. If I point my toes with my knees bent and vibration at the same time, I can feel that stretching out that tissue on the front of my lower leg, which I told you was my weak spot. This just exposed it, and it feels so good. Feels so good. Like you don't have to scrape it. You don't have to do the exercises. So if you have shin splints, or if your feet hurt, or your calves are hurting, this is money. This will save you so much money in physical therapy, so much money. If you are a massage therapist or a therapist of body work, I use this with every one of my clients as an assessment before I actually do anything with them. I've learned how to assess the body using vibration. So I just want to change the view here so you can see all this working. Yep, it's like torquing from the belly, torquing from the belly without torquing. But my body's doing the same thing as what torquing would do, a little shaky in the booty. So if you've ever wanted to get your booty to look like it's torquing, you're doing crazy fun dance moves and you're 60 or 70, this is the way to do it effortlessly. Now, if you have pain in your hips, you can rock and roll side to side. You can see how that's changing how my body is moving. And again, it's the same amount of vibration that we would have on manual mode with one motor on a Rumble X, but because it's so much smaller surface, my body gets more because it's a smaller space. And so the energy is not being distributed across the plate 2 or 3 times the size of this one. It all stays close, so you can really dial in. But yeah, so if I go legs flat, so if you have hamstrings issues, even though my quads are what's getting the energy right now, I'm actually feeling this all the way up here where your butt makes a little smiley face. That's where I'm feeling it. So yeah, I like to make stuff up as we go. So if you've seen any of my YouTube videos, I'm making up as I go. It's all up here in my head. But I've been a strength coach, top #1 in the country for a little while. You know, so I have worked with a lot of teams, a lot of kids, a lot of adults. Youngest kid is 5, oldest individual is 90. And our body has the same list of assembly parts as what we would see in other vehicles, but we're put together very differently, and we are emotionally driven. And this vibration calms the emotion down in your system. It's so good. Oh, that feels so good with the front of my legs. And then if you want to do gas pedals, if you have plantar fasciitis, that night splint that you all hate to wear that really doesn't do much good for you, this will do so much more. And it will make you feel good all at the same time. But it's not only stretching everything out and activating, it's also clearing out my lymphatic channel. We've got a lymphatic channel right here behind the knee. And when you shake that out, like Dr. Perry Nicholson says, clearing out the big zones, it's doing that right now. So that when I go to stand, everything just feels better. All right. Well, I would love to share with you so many other things that you can do. But that's for the next episode. Today was just about getting an opportunity to share with you like how this works and how well it works for the small and mighty unit that it is. I'm going to bring you up close again so you can see me standing on it. And again, you're going to see everything in my body. We're never perfect. We've all got lumps, bumps, wrinkles. We've all got muscles of certain, or you wouldn't be able to move. Like muscles is what creates the metabolism. But you're going to see, like, it's okay if you have wrinkles. It doesn't mean that it's fat. You can actually have a wrinkle because the muscle's too tight. And when the muscle draws inward, it makes a crease, which then becomes a wrinkle. That's why people get Botox on their forehead, is because the frontalis muscle is too tight, which creates a wrinkle. So you paralyze the muscle and then the wrinkle goes away, but the muscle doesn't work. So if you have wrinkles around your knee, saggy skin, we have to restructure the collagen, the elastin. We have to firm up, and the magic machine firms it up, like, so the wrinkles go away and definition goes up without having to stress your joints. So Vibrance X is the name of this. If you go on our website, use the link provided, it will share with you on our newest page of new releases. You can buy it there for $150 on launch price. That price will fluctuate high to low, just depending on the season. I will tell you that our vibration plate with red light therapy sold out in less than a week after we launched it. So it's been a very popular item. I'm going to face this way because I haven't faced this way yet. And again, I'm just in like basic preset mode. If you don't want to hold a squat, my chair, I can just hang out here like downhill skiing Olympics 101 right here, right? We're just holding the ski position. But if I don't want to hold this, I can just lean forward if I have a prop around me. And does this hurt my knee? No, because it is stabilizing through the full range. If you have osteoarthritis and you're bone on bone, you're going to have to play this one by ear and just see how you feel. But don't avoid it because it's going to help you in clearing out the crap in the joint, which is keeping you from being able to heal and regenerate. So yeah, good stuff. But anyhow, in a seated position, again, I'm going to share with you in a seated position so that those of you who are at work, you can see if I chilling out, laying back, just make sure that your hips are higher than your knees. So in other words, if my knees are higher than the hips, you're actually going to cause more of a traffic jam in your hips. So make sure that your hips are higher than your knees. And the further back you go, the more you're going to get here to the sides, but less into the lower legs. So if you're really trying to work hard on the lower legs, make direct contact with or sit with your knee somewhere in position between the toe and the heel. If your knee is way out here, you're straining your knee in a bad kind of way. Don't do that. Make sure that your knee is somewhere over the plate, okay? And you're gonna get this, again, just sitting here, comes all the way up into my hips and into my booty. Feels really good. You can work on that thoracic rotation, your work break at your desk. Ah, feels so good. We all need this. Most people have shoulder pain, back pain, and hip pain because they're missing this motion. So you got to keep up with that motion. But anyhow, great for home base, great for the desk, great for sports. It does make a difference in bone regeneration. So osteoporosis, don't worry about the frequency or the amplitude, just get on and go. Start easy, work your way up, use that remote to control, and just get comfortable around it. If you don't have a vibration plate, just get comfortable with getting on and getting off, or just what I'm doing right now. Some people will say, oh, I'm not going to get anything done by just sitting. I'm here to tell you, I don't know what you guys are seeing there, but this is doing something. And when I go to put on shorts for the summer, it's going to look beautiful and toned, and I did no weightlifting. I don't do any extra workouts. It is all right here, and it is shaping out. Our body reshapes itself every 30 minutes. It is reshaping, restructuring, and recalibrating every 30 minutes. So when summer comes, these legs are going to look like fire, and so are yours. When it comes to enhancing the lymphatic system, remember it's about pumping up and increasing circulation and oxygen to the muscles so that they can continue to fire the way they're supposed to. So that being said, low impact, high frequency if you choose, 60 speeds, 10-minute default, hit repeat over and over and over and over again. I've been on these hours in a day because I work around it all the time. You can work your way up to that if that works for you. Don't worry about the manual. Don't let it scare you from being able to try it, but just be mindful. Like if you have some of those things going on that are mentioned in the manual as cautions, be careful when you approach it, or reach out to one of us if you need help in the support groups. But more importantly, doctors and your therapist, your medical team, a lot of them don't know the answers to the questions, to medical questions, because of their unawareness of going on outside their tunnel vision. Like if doctors are in the zone and that's all they do, they're relying on the therapist and their staff to do everything else that goes on out here. So, and those people don't know about vibration unless they're researching it. So if you have questions that are medically related, we can't be a medical provider to you or take away the advice that your medical team has already given you, but we might be able to give you some questions to ask them or tell you how to reword it so that you can get the answers that you need, or providing them the data, the clinical evidence that this stuff actually works. And then you get to teach the doctor. That's always fun. When you can teach a doctor something, aha moment, light bulb goes on. But anyhow, if it doesn't make you flow or glow, it's a no. So make sure that you love the love inside of you. Let your love shine out. Let Lifepro and vibration plates bring the glow in the flow. Movement with medicine. Motion is lotion. And excited to see you in our next episode. So thank you today for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.